Welcome to the Evoto AI Edge podcast, the show where we dive deep into the world of photography, business, and cutting-edge AI technology. If you are a photographer looking to streamline your workflow, boost your productivity, and grow your business, then you're in the right place. Maggie, so lovely to have you on the podcast. It's really, really cool to chat with you. I've been a fan of your work for a while. The people that don't know you, please, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your business? Where are you based, your target market, and what do you do as a photographer?
Thank you for having me. This is really exciting. So I do two different things. So I'm a photographer full-time for about 10 years now, specializing in portraits, family photography mainly. I started as a newborn photographer, and then that developed into babies, families. And turns out the bigger the family, the happier I get. So I do love massive families. The more problematic, the better. I don't like easy shoots. So I like issues. If someone calls me up and says, no other photographers want to take it, bring them in. You know, I love it. I love it. I love kids that don't behave. Actually, genuinely, I'm not even joking. So big families, challenging families, it's my jam. And I do love, obviously, babies, 8 months, newborns, all that. And on the other side of the business, I've got the Training Academy, which specializes in in-person sales. So we teach the whole process from consultations, getting leads, consultation, getting client onto the journey that we want to monetize at the end. So I always say sale is a process, not an event. If you were to remember one thing out of everything that I teach is always sale is a process, not an event. And this is when it stops being salesy, when we actually treat it as a journey from the get-go, from the start, from the first message. So I teach all of that through togacademy.com. We do online courses. Anyone can sign up and start straight away. So it's all pre-recorded. I do templates as well for photographers just to make our life easier so no one can complain that we have no resources and we sit until 3, 4 a.m. getting the badge of honor of working so hard. And so I've got all the solutions. You just need to go get it, grab it, and it's all out there.
That sounds amazing. Where are you based?
I'm based in UK, up north, about an hour and a half from London. It's quite nice area. It's big houses, big families, so right up my street.
All right. So talking about the big families, what makes you so drawn to challenging families, big families, naughty kids? What is it about them?
Do you remember Tetris when we were little? This is my human Tetris. I used to love playing Tetris, and this is essentially that side of business that I can play Tetris with bodies. So I do enjoy the whole puzzling people together. And I think doing quite a lot of different workshops with different people, what I've experienced is a lot of those are models, well-behaved kids, everyone's perfect. And you get this false sense of security when you go to any workshops pretty much these days. And then you walk into the studio and you get children, on spectrum with autism, just generally not happy to be there. Dads don't want to be there. Teenagers really don't want to be there. And you need to work around those situations. So even as far as workshops are concerned, so I teach family posing as well. I tend to make a point out of getting the worst models. On paper, if I see a nightmare family, those are the people that will end up in front of my camera. And this is what I teach my students, because essentially 80-20 Pareto principle, 80% of our shoots are going to be that. And I do enjoy a challenge. After doing it for 10 years, essentially, it's a muscle memory. So you do the same thing, you know how to do it, and you become complacent and it's comfortable. So I don't want to become complacent. So I tend to attract people who wake me up a bit in the morning and make me think on my feet. So it is a challenge that I enjoy.
That brings me to a point where immediately I start to think, with my business hat on, are troublesome families, naughty kids, is there money there?
There is. The moment they walk into your studio and they know you're the only person that will put up with them, they'll never go elsewhere. So it's true. I mean, we had situations when I had clients for 5-6 years, and then they got a voucher to go somewhere else for a shoot. And hand on heart, this is a family that came to me last year, came back, and they said, we went somewhere else. And now our daughter gets really stressed in this environment. It's a new environment. She's autistic. And she actually ended up peeing herself. She's 10. And mom started crying. Photographer kicked them out and said, look, I'm not having this in my studio. Whereas I've got patience coming out of my ears when it comes to my clients. Literally, you can do no wrong. You can bring your kids, bring your dogs, bring your cats, bring your tortoise and snake. it's very welcoming studio. You can't destroy anything. It's quite easygoing. What happens in terms of pricing? My prices are slightly higher than our average in the area, but that buys people time. So I always say charge enough to be nice, charge enough to have the patience and have the time to allocate to those clients, just in case you need some more. So even with, as far as mini sessions go, mini sessions are standard. They tend to be 20, 30 minutes in UK. I tend to allocate an hour, because I treat it like a proper session. I might call it mini session, but in the end, you'll get full service and you'll never feel rushed, no matter what the session is. So I tend to allocate double the time, but obviously you'll get double the images. The images are better quality. People feel better. And it's all about essentially how you feel after a shoot, because there's two parts of every session. The images is only one part. And we all tend to be fixated about on the images, but it's how you make people feel after the session. Did they have a good experience? Did they actually have fun as a family? As parents, they tend to come, and obviously having difficult children, they're so used to being on the edge, shouting and screaming, and you're trying to make sure that they feel at ease as well as children. And if they say, behave, I don't need them to behave. If they want to dance for 10 minutes, go dance for 10 minutes, come back, we'll take some pictures. So this is, life situation as well. A few months ago, I had a family of 3 girls. One of them, as she grew up, it turns out she was autistic. And every autistic baby, every autistic child has their own thing. There's no autism that's similar for two people. And her thing was dancing. And she wanted to come to the space and she wanted to dance. So I said, look, 2-3 photos, you can dance, and then we're coming back to your photos, and then you can carry on dancing. So as long as you do the proper consultation and actually listen with the intent to hear as opposed to reply, that's when you get to know those clients and how to make that session special for them. Not cookie cutter, another session in and out. I don't do the whole in and out. I need to make sure that what we deliver in the studio is exactly what they wanted and more.
Yeah,
as cheesy as it sounds.
No, it's not cheesy. Intentional listening. I think it's really, really important. And I do that with my clients. And I have a little joke about it. Some people call it stalking, and I just call it paying attention. Just intentional listening. So with the big families that you shoot, obviously we're going to talk about Evoto and how you've worked that into your workflow. But before you were using Evoto AI retouching, the big families, obviously there are a lot of people in the families, you're shooting multiple combinations. What was your workflow like before Evoto, and what were the challenges? And also, what were the upsides to it, to the way that you were doing it before? So the good parts and the bad parts.
There was no good parts before Evoto, and I mean it. There's literally, I'm not even joking about it. So there's 2 different types of photographers, right? There's the hermit photographers that actually enjoy sitting there editing until 5 a.m. because this doesn't involve people, and we don't like people as photographers. And there's the other side of photographers, which is me. I don't like sitting until 4 a.m. I actually do enjoy having a social life. But before Evoto, what used to happen, at the back of my mind, I knew I've got 3-4 galleries to edit, and I cannot afford that time to go and socialize with my friends, because that puts me, on the back burner. Everything gets delayed. And also because I like to edit fully for my IPS sessions. I don't half edit. I edit full images so they're ready for print. I used to edit about 15-20 images for IPS instead of, right now I do 35-40, and they're just as good quality. So people have more, I have more chances for upsell. They have more chances to pick the right images as opposed to me narrowing it down to 15-20 that I think are the best. As parents, we know the expressions of our children. And for me, as a photographer, I'll pick the perfect one, which might not be the expression that they know. So now giving them a bit more options, clients are happier, sales are going up. And also, see, I get that time to do fun stuff, to go out, see, especially in this weather right now. I want to sit in the pub, having a glass of wine, not sitting at 4 a.m. and, telling everyone how hard I work and we're so hard working 3-4 a.m. It's not about Giovanna. It's a disaster when it comes to industry. And obviously, the more detail-oriented you are, the longer it's going to take you for no reason. There's literally absolutely no reason. In terms of finances, I actually benefited on many levels because I used to have makeup artists for my sessions. And now, genuinely with Evoto's makeup feature, there is no need for makeup artists. And there isn't. And I say to clients,
I didn't think about that.
It saves you quite a lot of money if you shoot a lot. I mean, and the cheapest makeup artist I can get here is about £60. And you know what the worst thing is? It's not even the fact that, that you've got the makeup done, but it's an hour that I need to be in the studio when someone's getting the makeup done. It's an hour that no one's paying me.
Of course.
And I'm one of those people, I value my time a lot. I mean, to the point that if you have an appointment with me and you're late, I'm seeing rage, it's like that rage is going like...
That's where your patience falls flat.
Patience out of the window when someone's late, that's literally, you can't recoup that. But when it comes to time, I value my time. So even waiting for my clients to have their makeup done, that's an hour that I've burned for no reason. So now they can actually come de-stress. I said, like, do your hair as well as you can, get them loose. And in terms of makeup, just leave it, let it be. I'll sort your makeup out.
Oh, that's fantastic.
With the makeup slider, for those of you who did not use it yet, it's the most natural finish you can get. I use the nude one from the makeup palette, and that's on 20%, works for anyone. It's one of those sets that actually works for mature skin, works for young skin. You can literally whack it on anyone's face, and it looks really good. So I always say, saves me time, saves me money on makeup artists. And obviously, in terms of editing, it saves so much time in terms of manual editing. And if I have families on average 10 people per family, imagine that. I mean, it's
huge. It's huge. So you were doing your own editing before, so you've saved money on a makeup artist, which £60 is a significant amount of money, but it's not huge.
Yeah.
For me, what I'm gathering from you in terms of your value that you're finding from Evoto is the time saving. So what are you doing with the extra time that you're having? Obviously, putting some to socializing, but in terms of your business, how has it affected your business in terms of the extra time and the extra little bit of money that you're saving on makeup artists and perhaps a few other things?
It's on makeup artists, but it's also on editing. So when I did try having outsourced edits, and it cost me about the same as the makeup artists again. And the edits were coming back, and they were worse than my raw images. I swear to God, I've gone through so many editors, and that's why I ended up editing myself, because it's not just a case of I'll find editor. They're not always up to standard. They won't understand how you want to do things. And obviously, because you detail driven, they're not going to be detail driven because they're looking at profit from the session, so from the galleries. So it's not even that, it's just hard to find good people when it comes, to Evoto. At least you've got guaranteed quality. So, and I remember at the beginning when Evoto started and someone posted in one of the groups, I mean, are you adding the cost of Evoto edits to your shoot?
Gosh.
I'm thinking, are you actually nuts?
That's
it's
ridiculous.
So cheap. And I keep saying to everyone, I mean, I should stop saying it to you guys because you're going to put the prices up, but it's so affordable. It's really affordable.
I've been doing it with my corporate headshots. Yesterday, I shot 400 headshots, and I'm thinking, well, for the amount of money that I got paid for the day, come on, it cost me 6 cents per person, and it's the best headshot that they've ever had.
Yeah, we started doing it for weddings as well, so it's thousands of images.
Oh yes, absolutely fantastic. So in terms of how you are using it, I want to know how you're investing your time, the extra time into your business. What else are you doing with your time in your business?
I'm a workaholic. I just basically channel my work into something different. So before I was sitting there like a little ant editing, and it wasn't productive. It wasn't working, on the business. It was working in the business, which is like the worst, beginning of an end. When you actually shift that and get some time back, what I put my time into is the systems. So I started, obviously we started talking about funnels systems, proper email sequencing. So I use Encharge, which is a very granular email system. So I've committed quite a few weeks just to build that up properly. So when someone comes into my funnel, they don't get abandoned. They get updates on a regular basis. Every client's got a nice portal. I use Lightblue for that. So the CRM started actually getting some love finally, because that was abandoned for ages. And I started paying more attention. So one of the things that I do as a hobby, I build websites for photographers as well. So I started putting some time towards that because that's something new. And I do enjoy learning new stuff. So it kind of keeps me excited. So I do a bit of that as well. And on a basic level, I finally have time to sit in my kitchen and bake stuff. I love baking. I love being in the kitchen. I'm one of those, totally all the feminists are turning in their graves. Why are you doing this? You're supposed to be the strong, independent woman. I
No.
love cooking and I love having
Yeah.
people over. Anyone in the area always say, come over anytime. Don't have to tell me you're coming. Just come over. I'll cook for you. You can sit on the other side of the island, get a bottle of wine and, talk stuff at me. And I love having people around. And pre-Evoto times, essentially always had that work hanging over your head. Whereas right now it's
Yes.
all done and dusted. I do the same shoot, same edit on the same date. So normally I don't have backlog anymore.
Yeah.
So I always know when it's the weekend, it's a weekend, and I have
Yeah.
that for myself and can actually relax and do stuff.
We'll get back to the Evoto stuff now, but I just wanted to know about the baking. Most of no, seriously, because as photographers, when you look at other people's work and you just think of them as a photographer. I know that you're a photographer, so is that your thing, baking outside of
I'm a
photography? If you
cooking, baking, kitchen person. If you love steak, there's always steak in my house. There's
yeah,
always some sort of crazy salad. Yesterday, what I was making pasta with chambord
oh
and
wow,
truffle cheese. I don't know where that came from. I decided to make it. I found some recipe. I've adjusted it to whatever
yeah,
crazy stuff. So I experiment a lot. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, we
okay,
never talk about it. But if it does, it's the Michelin star meal that everyone's going to see on Facebook.
yeah.
So
But that's your creative outlet. I mean, you,
yes.
you really enjoy baking and cooking. That's cool. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Evoto. You were speaking about the makeup feature. Obviously, then you were talking, about doing the same day edits with your families. Do you have presets, or maybe a better question would be, what is your favorite feature with Evoto? And please, could you share your screen and do a little demonstration for us to see just an insider pro tip and tricks, tips and tricks.
I would say, every time Evoto releases new features, there's something that suddenly becomes my new favorite feature. That used to be makeup. Makeup I was banging about it to everyone. Whoever was listening, like, you are going to have to do this makeup panel, so good. And recently is the color match. And the color match came about randomly because one of my clients sent me a photo from Pinterest of an image that she liked of a cake smash. It was slightly desaturated, looked a bit, nice and cool. I don't shoot desaturated and cool. I looked at this image and I'm thinking, I've got the same styling. I can actually have a similar set, but I'm not quite sure in terms of action, what action I would use, what edit I would do, how manually I would adjust it. And she knew the style that she wanted. And I thought, actually, I'll try this color match. And turns out color match was the solution to this. Now, I would say color match needs to be treated like actions. So I've spoken to a lot of photographers, and some of them are like, I love it. And some of them I'm not quite sure. And the reason why some of you might not be sure about the color match is because we don't treat it as an action in our head. Not every action is going to suit every image. And that's something that we need to establish first and foremost. So if we look like, brown and warm, and then we have a light, airy image, it's just going to clash. It's going to look muddy. So we need to make sure it actually aligns. Let me just share my screen. Aligns with what we're trying to do. So this is, you can see properly? Let me know.
Yes, I can see.
So this is an image that I had from that cake smash. So this is basically my straight out of camera pink thing. It's got that pink tint to it, I would say, which doesn't bother me at all. But the image that my client sent didn't have any pink to it. Just have a look, color adjustments. So she sent me something that was very desaturated, very neutral, very nice, actually, to be honest. I wouldn't know where to start with this.
Yes.
So all we need to do is, you've got the upload. For those of you who haven't tested it, upload reference, you pull the image from your computer, from anywhere you want. And we've got quite a few here uploaded for different styles. I just wanted to show you what works and also what doesn't, just to show you kind of which way not to go. Because it's quite a neutral and like boho earthy style, we matched the image that she wanted, which is this one. And you can actually adjust obviously the amount of that toning that you want. So that's how long it takes. Literally with one click, you can have, the pink was all right, but you can see how nicely it looks when it's just slightly lighter, slightly more white as such. So you can do, sync throughout all your images. If you want, yes, let's sync that. And obviously this is on 100%. If it's
Yes.
too much, we can adjust it, but I love it on 100%. I think
Yeah.
we achieved what she wanted.
That's beautiful. Uh, I think that your brain works in a similar way to mine, just in terms of the client dictating what she wants.
Yeah.
There are so many photographers who like to stick to their style and wouldn't feel comfortable accommodating the client, and it would be, almost like, this is the way I do it, and that's the way it is, rather than looking at what your client is looking for. So, one of the things that I always talk about when I'm educating photographers is that you need to create a product that somebody wants to buy. Not necessarily what you want to sell, but what they want to buy. So I'm sure your client would be ecstatic with this. So in terms of, I don't know how to say it, copying that, grading on that. I mean, for you, it's business, right?
For me, it's always business. I mean, this is like buying actions, essentially. I'm not copying the style. If you're that photographer, I'm not going to be the photographer that created the image, but I can color match to the image. In terms of style, actually, because you mentioned this is interesting topic on its own. I've written a blog about it because it's pain of my life when it comes to talking to photographers about the style. So everyone's different, and some photographers will have this very fixed, very narrow style. This is what we shoot. This is how we shoot. If you love it, you'll come. And people who are committed to that style, they will definitely buy into it. But if you think about it in terms of business, you have, let's say, a small village of 100 people. If you shoot just white on white on white, you might be interested to 2% of those people. If you say, my style is your style, I have the skills, I have the gear, I have the experience to make your dreams come true with what I can do. If you like vibrant, we'll do vibrant. If you like black and white, we'll do black and white. Obviously, it requires wider spectrum of knowledge and experience, but it's just what we do. You learn that through trial and error over the years of experience, and then you get to the point that you have a choice. You can either do, this is what I want, this is how I like things, which is fine, each to their own, or you can say, I'm running a business. If you want a donkey jumping on the tree and eating a banana, I'll make it happen for you. Here's the price list, and this is what's gonna cost. So I'm very flexible in terms of styling. That's why the consultation comes in. Some people, if they shoot specific style, that consultation is almost, you feel like it's not necessary because they came to me for my white images. Whereas for me, I will shoot the full blown rainbow, monochrome, over the top, digital things like this. I just need to sit people down and say, what do you want?
And intentional listening. Yeah. And then also, if you don't necessarily want those types of images to be associated with your brand, then just don't post them. It's quite simple. Right. So that's your pro insider tips and tricks over there. Do you have presets that you have made for?
I've got my presets. Yeah. So I made them actually last time when I was on call with you guys. So I made it live for live class. So we have some presets, but normally what I do, I look at the family. Because it's larger families and you have mixture of older generation, younger people, children, different ages, I tend to create preset for that specific shoot. So I do it on case-by-case basis. Sometimes I use the same and I just tweak it as we go along. Just to show you guys whilst we've got the screen share before I switch it off, how badly it can go as well, because you can actually go after something completely different. So let's say you've got a vibrant image. Someone says, oh, I really like this vibrant, and you actually shot something quite neutral. So this is when things go wrong and people can be put off from using that color match. So always make sure the styling goes with an image.
And if you drop the opacity on that, is it going to help, or
it's just going to be less fluorescent? It's I don't know. It's kind of saturated and like a bad Instagram filter. That's how it is.
Yes. Yeah.
You can, but it's like, images like this. Some people might like it. So this is on 100%. So this is a styling by Natasha Ains. So we drop it to half. Maybe if you want the warmth, you can get it. But it was something like this that they were after, and they loved it. And actually, when I've gone as far as matching it to the family images as well, which worked.
Wow.
And this is obviously on 100%.
Wow. Okay.
Family images. You can drop it slightly.
Yeah. So I see you've got 19 images there selected. Obviously, you've got your presets on and you've got your color matching on. You click on export, and within 2 or 3 minutes, maybe even less. Your images are all retouched. How long would it have taken you to do that manually?
2 days. Because I would literally sit there all evening, have my live during the day, have a shoot, then, drop the energy. I don't know if photographers do that. I do it every time I have shoot. When people leave, I need to sit on the sofa doing nothing for half an hour just to basically reboot, and obviously then cook something. Cooking is going to be an hour and a half because this is something we'll actually enjoy. And then in the evening, I push it to 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and I start editing. That's why it takes about 2 evenings.
Yeah.
And because I'm a nice person, I do, a lot of liquefy, I do a lot of adjusting hair, things like this.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that people see the best.
Yeah, that AI body retouching, I thought was pretty cool. I like that.
Fantastic.
But before you go there, can I have a look at the family photo?
Yeah, you can. I've actually smashed the whole same preset on that, which actually looks all right, to be honest. It doesn't look too bad.
I think it looks amazing. I think it looks lovely. Just put it full screen there, so without the yeah, that's nice. Nice so composition too. Yeah,
so lovely. That's 100%. Obviously, for this one you would probably go. But even with things like this, you have different ages here. And in terms of makeup on this, I mean, I am going to sell this to everyone. You know that it's the best thing.
Do your thing.
Nude thing, obviously check out of interest how Evoto assigns those people, just to make sure you've got less work. So you've got female, that's fine, because sometimes it does what happens, they do mature skin and a female, and I edit that skin in almost in the same way. So just to save yourself the 3.5 seconds of work, just adjust everyone to female.
Okay.
And then I go into nude. We've got female, go into nude, and
please zoom into the lady in the middle so we can have a see. Let's go nice and close to her face. Okay, lovely.
So this is on 80%. I mean, this is full whack, and that's without skin retouching, by the way. This is just that makeup. So just to show you before and after. There we go. So that's your before and after, just makeup without any other skin work, teeth or anything. And this is an 80%. That's the nude one from the makeup suite.
Yeah.
And this is my go-to for everyone. I mean, don't normally go that heavy, but perhaps 50-60% on this.
And your feedback from clients on that?
No one knows I put makeup on them.
They just feel good about themselves. They just feel lovely.
Yeah, because remember, for photo makeup, obviously, I keep saying to everyone before they come to the studio, if you do want to have your own makeup, whatever you normally put on day-to-day basis, just go for the drag queen finish, do 10 times more, and it's just going to be natural enough for photos. And people are just like, what do you mean? Just go hardcore. And when they come, even when you take the photo, it looks like they have no makeup at all. So I do need to bump it up. By 67% on nude.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for that demonstration. Clearly, you've got a lot of experience when it comes to educating other photographers with regards to their businesses, and especially the in-person sales. That for me is key, because you could be an unbelievable photographer and be completely bankrupt.
And many are.
Yeah.
We know that.
It's such talented. There's some very talented photographers out there. Or you could be pretty average and have a great business because of your sales techniques and then obviously the experience that you give your clients. So just in terms of your education and how you run the Tog Academy, can you tell us a little bit more about that? What you offer photographers, in terms of your workshops? You were talking about workshops, looking for photographers who are looking to run profitable, sustainable businesses.
Yeah, so on top of the family posing workshop, which I do a few times a year, I do IPS training, but the IPS training is a very simplified way of describing it because it's a full process training. So the bootcamp that I have on togacademy.com, you can purchase at any time, and it's about 8 hours of pre-recorded content, and that's anything from your consultation to the actual questions that I ask at IPS meeting, to things to ask at the consultation in order to hook people onto wallet sales later on. So it's not just they come to your IPS and you say, oh, by the way, I have this 50 million frames. Which one do you want? And people get overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed. So I do the whole process of how to take them by the hand through the whole journey, and also how to get them to come back, because obviously that's quite important, especially in current times. I was just saying to my partner that when gold goes up, our bookings go down. It's literally that uncertainty in the world, and we need to make sure people who come to us, they come over and over again. Especially if you're a family photographer, you have a reason to see those people a few times a year. And if we always aim for fresh leads, they cost us, even if we don't advertise on Facebook, don't pay for Google ads, it costs us about £50 in responding to emails that don't convert into bookings every time. Someone walks through the door, they already cost us 50 quid without even spending a penny. So we need to make sure that we actually get those people to come back. So the way I structure my pricing, the way I run the service, is for people to have a reason to come back. There's always something to hook them, and they don't want to go elsewhere because they've invested in that session. They have, whether it's vouchers for future sessions, whether it's extras for family and friends and things like this. They get rewards when they bring new business in. So there's quite a lot of those things that lock them into the cycle. So it's almost like a subscription model. When they walk into my studio, they don't have a clue. They'll be here for another, 3, 4, 5 years, every single year, whether it's once or twice with their friends. It is a subscription without being a subscription. So,
well, I think it's really just looking at your business as a long-term project rather than making a quick buck. I think that photographers should have at least medium-term and long-term strategies to make sure that they do end up having sustainable careers. So you've told us what you've done with your extra time now that you're using Evoto, and people that are watching this podcast I'm sure are excited about Evoto, and we want to know about a promo code. Do you have a promo code for us for
I
a
do.
discount?
Maggie R. So
yes.
MAGGIER, and that gives you 15% off annual subscription, or 20% off of pay-as-you-go, up to, I think, 200 credits, I think. So good place to start. I know there's a lot of softwares out there, and I bang on about how awesome this is, but having background in software, I can tell you that this is one of those softwares that actually do change your life, not just your work. We had a meeting with Evoto guys when they came to UK for a conference last summer. And it was the first business meeting that I ever had with software company that made notes.
Oh, really?
And all the things that we noted were implemented later on. So it's a company that, for those of you who never heard of Evoto, never tried it, just randomly watch it, it's a company that moves forward so fast. There's a lot of software companies that talk about what they're going to do. Evoto doesn't talk about what you're going to do. They just do it. And it's always useful. It's always something that you didn't even know you needed, and suddenly you need it. And things, if they don't work, it's very brief that things get fixed really quickly. So it's one of those softwares that genuinely, hand on heart, changes lives. Have you tried
the tethered shooting yet?
I don't shoot tethered, but I've seen it in action. It's epic. I mean, they look at the back of the screen. It's like, how do I look like that?
How did I do? Yeah, how did you do that? It is like magic. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing.
For those who shoot tethered, especially for maternity, that's going to be a game changer, because maternity is one of those sessions that I don't tend to show people back of the camera because there's so much editing going on. So if you do the AI body adjustment together with the
stretch marks,
skin color adjustment, so there's no more purple legs and all this, that's going to be epic. It's amazing.
Maggie, thank you so much for your time. It's honestly been so inspirational listening to you. And if other people want to follow you, where can they find you on all the socials and your website? What are your details?
For the website, for the templates, for the bootcamp, for training, it's togacademy.com. Tog Academy for Instagram handle, and for my work, dinkyfeet.com. I finally got .com after 10 years, It is
Dinky Feet. You need to tell us about Dinky Feet. What is Dinky Feet?
So Dinky Feet is my studio name. So that's why, because it started with babies, it's kind of Dinky Feet. But because I do a lot of different commercial work and all sorts of work now, it's kind of expanded into so much that I'm potentially looking at a different name. But everything's under Dinky Feet in terms of my work, my actual studio work. So it's all there, all the services that I offer, prices, everything. So if you want to have a look at what I do in terms of work, styling, there's styling that I keep saying this all over the place, but actually when you look at it, it's mine. It's just very different. So it shows there's a lot of examples of my work there as well. pretty much 90% edited with Evoto because it's all new stuff. So
that's fantastic. Thank you so much. It really has been very inspiring, and have a wonderful afternoon baking, maybe saving your time.
I will. Tiramisu day today.
Oh yes. Oh wow.
So
okay. Thank you so much, Maggie. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.